morning, everyone, and welcome to Terry's Ask Me Anything again every Friday. Right now, every Friday. We may make it once a month starting in October. It really will depend on the pandemic, mainly because with you guys all, if you guys are like me, now I've found out that Texas has opened up quite a bit, as have a couple other states. But here in California, we are still under phase one, which means we are being told to stay at home as much as possible. Hi, I'm Terri Hardin. Welcome, YouTube. I am broadcasting simultaneously on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're someone who wants to stay in your comfy clothes and curl up in your pillows and your blankies, you can go onto your television or your computer or whatever and watch me on YouTube. Thank you, Michael Roman, for sharing that with me. So hello, everybody, and welcome. So excited to see you. The first thing we're going to do is talk about creativity. And the reason I wanted to talk about this was that, did you see Lady Gaga? Okay, the woman is, if I were a singer, I would be Lady Gaga, honestly. My hair would be different. But I would be her because she loves the flamboyant costumes, and she's just brilliant. And here she took this mask situation instead of whining and complaining, and she created some of the finest masks I have ever seen. I just was blown away by those masks. And I just wanted to start the conversation off with that, because you know how I'm always saying that instead of being upset about something as simple as a mask, embrace it and do something amazingly creative. And then, as Lady Gaga says, wear a mask, it's a sign of respect. I just absolutely love the way she said it. I love the way she demonstrated what you can do with masks. Very, very clever, very, very beautiful. And so I had to applaud Lady Gaga. So that's why I started out with that for the Ask Me Anything today, because we are still asked to wear masks as we cross over into Labor Day. There's lots of cautions. Please social distance. Please wear a face covering, etc., because we're still in phase one. Don't know what that color is. We have some sort of weird color system, purple, orange, no green, and no, I don't get it. But basically we're in phase one, and if we want to get out of phase one into two, we have to do this. So Lady Gaga was the perfect person to start out today, because I do get to see all of you. So as we start out every morning, we're going to feature you guys. And we start with Tim Gillette. Good morning, Tim. Aren't you proud of me? I've come a long way, huh? Tim Gillette is my coach, and he's helping me to do better video all the time. And as you see, I have this camera system thanks to my husband. So I really look rather professional, don't I? Yes, I do. I'm quite proud of that. Yes, and that's all thanks to Tim Gillette making me feel like I could do it, because sometimes you don't. Well, hello, Joel Christopher Payne. I love your picture. You're looking a little Santa there, buddy. Young Santa. Young Kris Kringle, right? And then hello, Bob Burdine. Oh, thank you. Thank you, and I love you too. And I miss you too. I miss our little coffee talks we used to have. Yes, thank you guys. Nuh-uh. It just looks nice and old style. And Michael, thanks for joining me again. On Terry's Tribe, we shared the new treasure chest as I've opened it up. And Jessica DeRose, who's our newest member of the tribe, and she's just lovely. And I've been, pressuring her to get on our spotlight. So I'm just excited because I want to learn more about her too. So, yes, I do. Yes, I do. LOL. Indeed. So, that's the thing I wanted to talk to you about. I also wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to show you something really special. So on Terry's Tribe, I've been cleaning my shop, my studio. It hasn't been this clean in over 10 years. It's amazing what I discovered. And so while doing that, I discovered a little kit that it has like pens and papers that do magical things. And on Terry's Tribe, I asked Holly McKenzie, who's a member, and she's a lovely lady. She has two adorable children. And I asked her if her kids would like this magic box thing I had. And, uh, and this is the letter they sent me. So it's upside down, of course. You'd think I'd prepare. Look at this. So this is the magic paper, and when you draw on it, it reveals all these cool colors. Isn't this great? It's just lovely. And Blythe and Wesley are the kids, and they sent me the envelope, and then they were sweet enough to include Holly Jolly Christmas because they heard my story of Burl Ives and how Burl Ives sort of made my life extra special by giving me a lovely picture and so on and so forth. So I promised them I'd do a super shout out. Now they've been across every single channel. Thank you to Blythe and Wesley. A handwritten thank you note goes a long way, and you've taught me something, both of you, that I need to do more of these handwritten type things because I really, really enjoyed this. And I'm going to put it somewhere in my shop because I want to see it every single day. And I just love it. In fact, I've actually unearthed a couple of other letters from young people. And now I'm 63. So I was in my 20s or my 30s or whatever when other people wrote me. My best friend's children wrote me birthday cards that I mentioned to her that I have. And then on my wall, on my desk over in this area, I have their handprints. You remember? Did you guys ever do that? Put your handprints in clay? Well, I have their handprints on my wall, and they're like 3, and now they're like in their, well, I don't know if Connor, middle child, is in his 20s yet, but he's doggone close. And then the oldest is in his 20s, yeah. And I have them at like 2 or 3 on my walls. It's fantastic. Okay. Let's make sure. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're so nice. You guys are all so lovely. And you saw that? Okay. Yes. Okay. Good, good, good. Yay. Good, 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 good. Yes. Okay. So let's get to the Ask Me Anything. I will say that thank you to Leo Holzer for putting the questions together. And finally, he admitted that he was asking most of the questions. And I think he's getting a little bit tired of asking all the questions. So we will probably, in October, make it every other week, or we will make it shorter. So if you don't want it shorter or you don't want it every other week, send in those questions. Okay, just saying. All right, here we go. He always reminds me of, and that is Leo Holzer, always reminds me that he wants to ask some topical questions. Now, you can ask me anything. All right, you may have noticed that I got my hair done. It's looking a little Lady in the Tramp, I think, but that's because I let my hairdresser have fun when he's styling it. And yesterday, hair salons opened and were allowed to do indoor services. But full disclosure, my hairdresser was able to do that before because he has such an isolated room. He only has one client per visit because he has one room, and he wipes it down. And he has a daughter with an immune deficiency, so I don't have to worry about him going out and partying and doing something stupid, because he has his little daughter he has to worry about, as I have, my husband. We're all about them. So he did my hair here, and his question was, he said, he gave me a lecture because we actually had to have lunch. It takes 3 hours to do this. It's not that they're doing this part, guys. It's that they're making sure this part right here is clean and not fuzzy. All right? Because the hair growth grows out, and then it's all fuzzy, and then so you have to tighten it down, retighten it. Yeah, it's a process. It takes 3 hours, and then most of that is drying my lovely mop of dreadlocks. So he usually, before COVID, would have several appointments in between my hair drying, because instead of sitting around for 3 hours. But this time he sits around, and so we actually had lunch together, which was so special to me. We used to do that when he was making a bigger mark in the world, and it was just lovely. So so he said to me, "You're the face of diversity, and you need to talk about that." So I don't mind talking about all different kind of questions, because I'm mixed, and I was bullied for it because it happened in the 50s when there was segregated water fountains and segregated bathrooms and segregated doorways and blah 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 blah. And so now, with so many people and the Black Lives Matter movement, many people are asking me questions about what do I think, how do I feel, and those controversial questions are great. So don't, you may want to know, as a kid, how did I get into art? Whatever. You can ask pretty much any question except for, will you marry me? And the reason I don't take that is because I'm happily married to an amazing man. So, so okay, here we go. Do you have any thoughts about Chadwick Boseman's death from cancer at age 43? Of course. Of course. Who doesn't have a thought about Chadwick? And it was one of the most amazing movies for me to see as a human being. I just loved the movie. I loved the movie. And Black Panther. I think it was the first superhero movie I really, really flipped over. I don't know that the story was as compelling for me, but I just loved the women. I thought Chadwick did an amazing job. So regal, so majestic, so powerful. And he was sick at that time, I understand. And we kept looking, and we watched the movie just recently, and we just thought, what a trooper this guy was. What a, you could have stayed home. I mean, this is not, he didn't have an easy illness. He didn't have, a cold. It's one thing you have a cold and you work on set. He was really battling. He had a real strong battle of his own. And did you know it? I didn't know it. I didn't know he was struggling with cancer. It was a shock to me. And yet he was so powerful in that movie. And then in the movie 42, was it? Oh, I loved him in that movie. But I just think I'm really proud at the reaction of people. He was inspiring to so many people. And again, I understand that he was really inspiring to Black people. Yay, that's awesome. I mean, so little is happening for women. A lot of roles don't have women, and a lot of roles don't have Black women, and a lot of roles don't have such a huge and lovely Black cast, and they really should. And I think it was going to be great. My thoughts are, I think it would be great to come to a mindset that we're not identifying it as Black or Asian or white or whatever. We're just saying, wow, what a great actor. Because his dedication is bar none. He's so young, 43. Wow. But he just kept, kept on. And it was just, the movie is, if you haven't seen the movie, you got to see the movie. If that's, but Chadwick really does make you feel proud to be a human being of any color, I think. Of any color. But it was extra special for the Black half of my family that he was Black, and little kids who are looking for role models in films that are like them. I mean, there was Sidney Poitier, but Sydney's work is beautiful. If you haven't seen it, do it. But it was great for people, for a lot of you who weren't born and don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe you don't even know who Sidney Poitier is, which will be surprising to me. Chadwick was that strong and that important of an actor. He really broke some wonderful barriers, and he not only did that, but he took on the baton of being an advocate for more roles for people of color and for people of all races, and I'm just so excited. I'm real excited about it. It's very cool. As an actor myself, many people say that when they go to audition, there's not a lot of auditioning roles for black women. Well, in my case, there's no auditions for black women because I look so white. So, my agent will ask, how do I list you? Well, you don't list me as a black actress because people will think you've been smoking something. So here's my challenge, right? So yeah, from a mixed point of view, we want y'all to get along. It's what we want. I think we all want each other to get along, you know. And I'm sorry we lost Chadwick because he was so strong in his beliefs that you embrace each other. You don't fight each other. It's pointless, you know. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on Chadwick. Um, and we were talking about creativity, and the next question is about. I don't know if you saw in the news, but there's a musician, and I can't remember his name. He was on American Idol, and he did not win. But his voice was absolutely beautiful, as I understand. And he was recently interviewed because he's doing a concert live and in person in Orange County. Now, before y'all get all crazy, the people are attending in their cars. So it's a drive-in concert. Isn't that genius? See, again, just like Lady Gaga, and I don't remember his name, I apologize, but Google, drive-in concert, and you'll find him. It's brilliant. And I think that this is what musicians should be doing. Instead of saying we're really hurting, which you are, how about a drive-in concert? Because now, for someone like me, this would be awesome. Because a lot of times the music is too loud. I mentioned I was 63, right? I don't mean it blasting at me. I love music. I just don't like it at 200 decibels. So I could just roll up my windows. My car would bounce and vibrate, and I would love it. I would love it. And this young man, he's not that kind of a musician. He does guitar and he sings very mellow, comforting music. And I don't know if he does other stuff, but I was just so proud of him when he got on there. And he said, I wanted to get back to work. So I thought, they're doing drive-in movies. How about a drive-in concert? Brilliant. Lady Gaga, killer masks, beyond cool. I want to do some myself because of her. And then this concert. You could be a comedian. And the same thing. Just have a drive-in. It will be limited to areas where you can park cars, but still you would get to work. And then the rest, maybe you could do both, virtual and live. So you're recording it and you're streaming it. And then those that can be there, and this is Orange County, guys, California, you can actually go. It's probably sold out because, this is just a brilliant idea. So again, I wanted to talk about this creativity. Instead of getting so upset about what you can't do, take that criteria. These are all my restrictions. Bop, 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 right? And now, how can I work in the confines of those restrictions? How can I keep those restrictions from ruining what I want to do? Right? So, hey, again, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Okay, so restaurants too have carved out open air dining along sidewalks and in their parking lots as part of their survival efforts. Would you feel comfortable dining outdoor at a favorite restaurant? In what ways are you supporting local businesses? Well, hey, this is a great question. Right now, we are not dining out. Okay, the city where I live in, they've actually done something I really love, and that is they've blocked off the street at both ends for about half a mile or something. And that way you don't have cars buzzing past you as you use the street and the sidewalk, which was a little terrifying for me. So I'm really grateful to that city for that, my city for that. I usually take out. Okay, I go to a lot of the restaurants and take out or have it delivered if they deliver. I don't really use food delivery options like Postmates or things like that. I don't do that. But I Grubhub, all of that. I don't do that. But I do it like if I feel like tacos, there's a place around the corner. They bring me some tacos and margaritas. Okay, full disclosure, love their margaritas. And then there's a friend of mine who runs a sushi restaurant, and I go and get soup there. I love sushi, but his soup is really kicking it. His soup is better than his sushi lately, in my opinion. But he does that udon with the big noodles. Oh, it's a craving, guys. It's a craving. I have a Chinese restaurant that I love, Gourmet 88. I absolutely adore them, and I have theirs. And then I told you about the oh, what is it called? Dumpling House. And the Dumpling House isn't in Burbank, but they have come up with frozen soup dumplings. So if I want them, I buy 50 of them and they in my freezer, and then I think of the Dumpling House every time I cook them. So how brilliant is this? That you're making dumplings, you're freezing them, and then you're offering them to your customers, and they're buying them like crazy. Yeah. Oh, and they're just delicious. They're just so good that I love that. So that is how I'm doing it. I don't really go to coffee houses. I'm not a Starbucks girl. My husband makes the best coffee on the planet. So if I'm going to have a coffee, I have it with him, but mostly I'm tea, right? Just before the lockdown, I went to Gladstone's and I sat inside. I was the only one inside Gladstone's on the beach in Malibu. And let me tell you guys, there was nobody in there. And it was wonderful. Just me and the staff. And the place is so huge. They were already social distancing before they were asked to social distance. So I'm hoping they can open up soon because I love sitting up by the water. There's a seagull there named Gary. And Gary always comes to say hello to me. And oh, it's just a great place to eat. So I don't eat out much. But I'm working hard to eat out because I know that these restaurants need our support. In fact, we lost one here in Studio City called the Bistro Garden, and that's where my husband proposed. So it was a heartbreaker that one had to close their doors after so many years. And we don't even want to let my husband's mother know because we think it's just going to be devastating to her. It was the go-to restaurant for us for so many levels. Chick Hearn, was it Chick Hearn? I could be wrong. It might not have been Chick Hearn. It might have been. My husband knows. I don't know sports, but anyway, we sat with them at the Bistro Garden and had dessert together because they were honored at an Emmy event, and then afterwards we went to eat, and there they were. Vince Scully, that's who it was. Forgive me, Scully and his wife, his lovely wife, and they knew my husband's father, Keith Jackson. And so we waited patiently until they were on the dessert portion of their menu, and then we went over and introduced ourselves, and they invited us to sit with them and have dessert. It was fantastic, and that all was happening at the Bistro Garden. So yay, yeah. Movie theaters are beginning to reopen. Oh, I sure hope so. I miss a movie theater, don't you? I don't go often because I get screeners, the ones that they send to you to vote on. My husband is an art director. So we get quite a few, and then I'm a Screen Actors Guild member, so we get them through the mail. But ever since they did the lounge chairs, the recliners, I'm in. Put a little bit of popcorn on my tummy and lay me back, and if it's a superhero movie I don't like, I just go to sleep while my husband goes, rah! And then we return the favor if it's a Jackie Chan film, because my husband and Jackie Chan, he loves Jackie Chan, but I inundate him with Jackie Chan films because I love Jackie Chan and I love the after with Jackie Chan. So he doesn't always want to go see Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan movie comes up. Now it's kind of being Dwayne Johnson. And speaking of Dwayne, did you hear he and his family for the last few weeks have been struggling with COVID because they went out and saw friends and family and got COVID. Let me say that again. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, went out with a group, family, and got COVID. So don't do it if they don't live with you. Or distance, okay? It's weird not hugging. I think that's my new phrase. Oh, it's so weird not hugging you because I hug my friends, and I miss that, when they come and visit in my bubble. I can't, like my hairdresser, I can't hug my hairdresser. I love my hairdresser. He's been with me since I was in my 20s. He was a lifesaver. But yeah. Um, but anyway, additional openings quite likely in the next few weeks. We know you get a number of screeners, but how many times did you go to the movies in a typical year? Pre-coronavirus. Yeah. I was last year, if we use last year, I didn't go to the movie theater a lot, but I did go. So I was in Dallas speaking with Tim Gillette, who you saw pop up earlier. We went to see Bohemian Rhapsody because a mutual friend of ours, Craig Duswalt, knows the band Queen and knows the bass guitarist. And so we went and saw the movie, and then we talked to him on Craig's cell phone after and let him know how much we loved Bohemian Rhapsody. And that was one of those movies where they bring you the food. It's like a drive-in without the car. It was wonderful. I had never been in something like that, and it was in Dallas. It was great fun. It was great, 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 great fun. And that was last year. But I traveled so much that we didn't spend a lot of time in movie theaters. I was visiting with people. But the other time was I flew home for the weekend so that my husband could see Endgame, that two-part superhero film. And he informed me that we had to see Captain Marvel first. So I had to book tickets for Captain Marvel. So on Saturday we saw Captain Marvel, and on Sunday we saw the second part of the killer superhero, everybody but the kitchen sink in the movie Endgame, I think. Anyway, I loved that movie because Rocket was in it. Otherwise, nah, too many people, too much to keep track of. I didn't really, but I just curled up and went to sleep, and my husband loved it. So that's good. Captain Marvel, I really liked it. We were the only two in the theater with one other person. The rest of the theater was completely empty. And that was kind of interesting, our own private screening. And those were the 2 times I went. That was it. Twice. Yeah, because I was traveling all over the world talking to you. Teaching you. Yeah. I flew over 55 times last year. And this year I've flown once. It's shocking. It's just shocking. My whole body kind of tingles every time a plane flies over. And that doesn't happen much. There's so few flights right now. They fly. And the thing is, I always would see a Southwest plane in the air. And now the majority are not Southwest planes. I don't know if they're taking another route or whatever, but I used to look up and really love the blue and orange against the sky. Beautiful plane. I love to fly, but I'm just not doing it now. Yeah. Nope. Not going to happen. So as a result, would I, the way this question is the way, are you excited about the return of spending a couple of hours in the dark with strangers watching a great movie? What's your favorite movie-going experience other than Star Wars? That first part of that question, no, I'm not interested in spending it in the dark with a bunch of strangers unless we are social distancing. And how does that work with face coverings? Because you're going to be eating popcorn, so you're going to have your mask off, yeah? I'm eager to go because I won't go to the theater unless I am in one of those recliners, which means that you're going to have some social distancing already. And there's the walls between the chairs. So those theaters are going to be excellent for social distancing and staying safe, I think. That's where I'd go anyway. I can't see IMAX. I get motion sick. So that's out. And so I don't know. Might pop in. I love movie theaters. I love the big screen and everything. I love, Star Wars. We would pack in there, and just being in a place where everybody was like-minded and cheering on their favorite movie was super cool. Yeah, and my favorite movie-going experience. Well, I have several. I have several. Um, but let me think. Which one was really cool? Just for a minute, I'm going through my Rolodex of what was the most fun. I think the most fun one was I wasn't in a public. I was at the Walt Disney. No, no, no. I was at the Egyptian Theater. And we were watching a 3D festival, 3D being 3D that went in your face like this, like this instead of the new 3D, which is kind of boring. What's the point kind of 3D? Uh, my opinion, come on. But I love this. That's the kind of 3D that I like. That's what I grew up on. Um, People, hitting the ball during the Wax Museum one, and the ball is coming right in front of your face. Yeah, that's the stuff I go crazy for. Um, but but I watched this 3D festival, and after the 3D festival was over, we were exiting the theater, and we heard a voice that is unmistakable as being as being no. Don't you just hate when you have one of those vapor locks? Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney. Yes, it was Mickey Rooney. Couldn't believe it was Mickey Rooney. But it was Mickey Rooney, and he had lost his glasses in the row that he was in, and he was very, very up in years, and he couldn't find them. He could not find his. Was it Mickey Rooney? As I sit here, I'm trying to say, because I met Mickey Rooney and then I think it was actually Bob Hope. So I apologize. It was Bob Hope. And Bob Hope couldn't find his glasses. And so my husband and I went back down into the theater area and got underneath and looked until I helped him find his glasses. So that was really a great experience. The experience of the film was fun because it's all 3D films and you're shocked at how many 3D films there are. But that was cool because of that. You see how I'm kind of people based? Yeah, I am. I'm people based. It's really it's neat to be around, and be with people. Um, the other one would be anything that I see at the theater on Hollywood Boulevard. That's the Disney Theater. I love that, especially since they installed the organ for real. I enjoyed that. And now that I think of it, one of the greatest movie experiences was when I went to see Seymour, Larry Seymour Vincent. When I was a young person, he was a horror host, and we went when I was 14 to see him at the Wiltern Theater in Hollywood, and he came up on the organ, and then he did the commentary to one of the films while we watched it, and then we got to meet him and talk to him, and my sister was with me, and it was great. It was great. So there's a couple. Yeah. And then he says Star Wars. Disney Plus recently announced the premiere date for season 2 of The Mandalorian. Are you jazzed? You know what my first question was when I heard this? Is do you have to pay extra for it? And my husband said, no, 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 no. No. Favreau doesn't work that way. So I was happy to hear that if you're Disney Plus people, you get to see that at the end of October, don't you? That's exciting, isn't it? Yes. Woo! Yes. Oh my goodness. Although we're still awaiting the season 2 teaser, what are your thoughts about season 1? And how hopeful are you about season 2, or do you feel a sophomore slump? Oh, that's a cool question. Nah. I think Mandalorian is going to be exquisite. And I hope it just, as long as Favreau keeps leading with the heart and not the head, Mandalorian will be great for years to come. I'll be really surprised if it's not good. It's just the one thing I've got all my money on. It's the Star Wars horse that is the favorite. Okay, it's taken the lead by leaps and bounds. The Disney company has been putting out too many Star Wars too close together, and then you get oversaturated, and then you get bored, and the product gets not so good, etc., etc., etc. So I think The Mandalorian is doing it right. It's doing, it does its season and then it works on the other season and then you have this anticipation. You have to let people build anticipation for your product. Not falsely, but you don't have to do 5 or 6 and then bum 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 hit us with a machine gun because we want quality. Okay? No excuse for that last Star Wars movie. I'm sorry. That was junk. So stop, breathe, figure out what you're really going to do, and get a good script. I highly suggest Clone Wars, which is an animated feature. How about you talk to those guys? They do a beautiful, beautiful, they've stopped. Okay, that's no longer being made. But those writers still exist, and they are brilliant. So stop trying to reinvent the wheel, Disney, and talk to some of these writers who were influenced by the original Star Wars and use that. Just think how happy they'd be to be able to create something for the company and for fans that we would all love. I mean, I might be speaking falsely here, but I don't think so. If I was a writer, I'd love to do a Star Wars movie. I'm a writer, but not that kind. I'd certainly love to be in one, and I'd certainly love to sculpt some of the figures or design some of the characters. Because I love that movie. That movie changed my life. George Lucas changed my life. Him and his go-get-'em attitude, and all the people that came together, collaborated, and created a great, fun film. It's all we want. It's all we Star Wars fans want is yummy film, right? And The Mandalorian gave us that. My husband was asking, what would I sculpt from The Mandalorian if I did it? And I said, I love that little character that rides that funny thing that looks like a tadpole with a big mouth on the end of it. I just love that little beastie. I would want to sculpt that beastie. And then I'd like to put that character on the top. I was so sad when he was killed. I fell in love with that character. I thought that character was marvelous. And that's what I like. I like the salt and pepper characters that I was looking at around The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is fun, but lead characters can be kind of boring. No offense, Mandalorian. You're pretty hot stuff. But compared to what I like those surrounding characters. I always have. That's just me. I like the seasoning. Chicken can be mighty bland without seasoning. Yeah. Mark Hamill was a lovely boy in Star Wars, but without the Wookiee and without Harrison Ford, I'm sorry, Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't know what kind of a movie it would have been. And in Empire Strikes Back, without Obi-Wan and Yoda and Vader, these side characters, if you will, to help make things, pop up a little differently. Those are the characters that just make me tick, that I just love. And they can ruin it, Jar Jar Binks, as much as make it a benefit. So, I'm excited about The Mandalorian. I think it's going to be terrific because of who's sailing that ship. Yeah. Recently, there was reports of a handful of professional commercial pilots of a person flying at several thousand feet using a jetpack in proximity of LAX. What do you think about these reports? Would you strap on a jetpack and take flight? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bow, bow. Chicka, chicka. Chicka, chicka. Chicka, chicka. Bow, bow. Chicka, chicka. Chicka, chicka. Chicka, chicka. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you know what my husband said? We finally entered the 21st century. We have a jetpack. Now, the interesting thing about this story, if you've been following it, is nobody on the ground seemed to see it, or they were sworn to secrecy. But there are 2 films my husband and I absolutely loved that popped into our head at the same time. So mine was The Giant Claw, which is about a pilot who sees a UFO, and the other one is Close Encounters, where the pilot sees a UFO. And in Close Encounters, the air traffic controller asks him if he wants to report a UFO. Do you want to report a UFO, over? Remember that guy? He was so adorable. Speaking of people who made wonderful work out of a small part. November 8th, 6, blah, 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 909, you want to report a UFO, over? And the pilot says, nah, I don't want to report one of those. Right? So they're kind of making the pilot who said there was a jetpack guy feel like he was hallucinating. And the people that saw it, like they're hallucinating because they said if a guy was in a jetpack flying, that somebody on the ground would have seen him take off and land because it's loud and noisy right now. The jetpacks aren't Rocketeer level yet, the Rocketeer level yet. And the two companies that make them say it costs about $1 million for you to strap one on and fly. And it only flies for a few moments. But I'm with the pilots. I know they saw it. I don't know if it was some genius who's created his own. Or my husband thinks it might be a drone with a dummy on it to just punk people. I don't know. But I don't know if it was a drone with a dummy on it, okay? Let's just entertain that thought for a minute. If it was that, then everyone on the ground was sworn to secrecy. No talkie! So that it could be a mystery. And the good news is it got everybody's mind off the bully in the room, yeah? We're all talking about jetpacks because we're like, woohoo! Jetpacks! Oh yeah, I'd strap one on. Absolutely. I think it would be fun. Of course, me in the air flying one, I don't know about that. Look, wah! You know. But yeah, I love jetpacks. I think they're amazing, and my husband has always prayed for one. And flying car. He wants a flying car. Yeah, he loved the Jetsons, and he felt that when we got into the 21st century, we'd have flying cars. And instead, we have Apple Watches that watch your health, which is also amazing, but he still wants a flying car. Indeed. Okay, Disneyland may be reopening next month. Yeah, let's just sort of hold that thought. Or so. Should coronavirus hospitalizations and death continue to decline in California, the park's reservation system will likely remain in place for the foreseeable future. Will you try to visit as soon as possible after the two parks reopen? Okay, it's really hard for Disneyland and California Adventure to open because we're so small. It's going to be a lot of work, and they've been working so hard. And as I've said before, my heart goes out to them. I won't visit as soon as possible because I live in California. Okay? And here's why I won't. Because I have so many of you out there that need this infusion of Disneyland to feel better. And as much as I love Disneyland, you guys make me feel better. Okay? So I'll live vicariously for you for a while. I don't want to take your spot, so to speak, because as mentioned here, as Leo says in this question, it's going to be highly limited and it's going to be a reservation situation. I highly recommend if you need that infusion of Disney, you go for it. Because if you've never seen the park empty, which I have, it's an amazing experience. I think the closest I got to an empty park was Grad Night, which I don't think they have anymore. And that was lovely. We were overnight in the park. We got there at about 8 o'clock. We got to stay all night. And then we left in the morning around 6 or 7 in the morning. It was amazing. But as an Imagineer, I've walked the park several times when I'm designing rides and attractions for the park. I walk the park to study those attractions. And so you want to see the park with not a lot of people in it? Yeah, I'd go for it. And then report back to me. Let me know how it is. On Terry's Tribe, Liz Reed did this at Disneyland Paris. She actually threaded the needle, and she went to Disney Paris. She got into Disney Paris, and then she left, and they closed it. So she shared with us what it looked like and what it felt like, and it was lovely. I really enjoyed that. So that's the way I'm going to enjoy Disneyland. And I have said to Disneyland, and anyone who will listen, I have said, you're going to need to tier it. You're going to need to do a tier system, meaning that once you decide on your opening day, let's say Disneyland says, we're all good. California is now in level 2, even though amusement parks have to be at 3. But let's just say we hit that level because we're all good. We all wear our face coverings. We finally get it, right? They're going to need to start with the people from Club 33. So you got to have a Club 33 day or week depending on how many members you have with Club 33, they must go in first. Okay, they pay a lot of money to be a part of Club 33, and they are entitled to go in first. Then you want to take the higher pass holders, the ones that are paying like those bi-coastal or the top tier or the second tier. You want to get those people in because they're paying a lot of money for those passes, and then the rest of y'all can all jump in, okay? Why is this? Because once Disney says that your pass, now maybe what they're going to say is your pass will add the months that you missed on the back after your first reservation clears. Okay? That would be a great idea, I think. As opposed to Disneyland's open, your months are over. The countdown against those months is happening on all passes, because that, I don't think that's going to work, is what I'm saying, okay? So if I have a Disney pass as a pass holder and they say, Terri, when you finally reserve, that's when we're going to add up those months you haven't been, and we're going to put them on the back. That's probably the most honest way of doing things. Because you know, if you can't get a reservation and they start ticking against your free months, this isn't fair, this isn't cool, and could result in something bad. Like lawsuits. We don't want that. Okay? So this is the thing that Disneyland and California Adventure have to concern themselves with. They have to protect themselves. And we are a tiny, I'm sorry, we are a small park compared to Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World has space. And it's a little easier for them to do what they need to do to take care of people, right? So here, this is the thing that's you know, Disneyland has got to really think about it, and that's why they keep extending when they're going to open, because they've got to first meet all the health criteria of the state of California and for amusement parks, and then they have to also ensure that once you get through, you don't rip your mask off like a goofball and run around taking selfies and possibly putting others in danger. Okay? So they're really, they not only can think about the smart people, the people who understand that they have to keep the face coverings on and do their due diligence or the park will close again, but they also have to deal with people who will not wear the mask. And as Lady Gaga says, wear a mask, it's a sign of respect. So, yeah, once you go in, respect Disneyland if you want to keep it open. Respect, you know, be about others, because they don't know where you've been, including me. You don't know. I tell you, but you don't know. So me walking around because I've isolated myself, not wearing a mask because I've been nowhere. No, it doesn't fly, guys. It doesn't fly. Do something creative. I've seen some of the most beautiful creative masks. Get involved with that and make something cool. I want to. Okay, I would like to make some masks for people. So there I go. Update on the hitchhiking ghosts. Yay. Okay. Let's do that update on the hitchhiking ghosts. And also, let me again tell you that there's a very good chance that we will eventually, as of October, shorten the Ask Me Anythings. Danger, danger. Because Leo is getting tired of asking all the questions. I did tell him he could do the newsworthy questions, and I'll do the frivolous questions. I'll ask them myself. But if you guys have questions, please submit them, and then we'll gather them together. And if, you know, maybe we'll go longer if you want. Or, you know, say if you want to go longer. Okay, here is an update on the hitchhiking ghosts. You can see here, there he is. Ta-da! Okay, I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to make you look that far away. Just let me set this up a little bit here. There he is. And what we're going to do, you're looking at his feet right now. And I'm going to use my iPad because I have a highly reflective surface, as you see here. So we're going to put that there so you can see him better, right? That's his bottom half right there, okay? And I'm looking to see, I'm going to go to big because I want to see if I can get him in a little better. My husband said the focus wasn't good. So I'm going to get the focus to where it looks pretty good. If he's a little soft, I apologize. Aren't his buttons cute? Okay. Now I'm going to walk over to my camera and I'm going to do a little reveal for you. This is my Skinny Ghost clay. Now, why I'm saying Skinny Ghost clay, I'll tell you in a minute instead of Ezra. Okay? I was calling him Ezra, but we're going to have to talk to you guys if you like that. Okay, so there he is. And I'm going to move the iPad again so that you can see what he looks like. Cover. There we go. Okay, so there he is. He is the impressions line, which means you're going to see some of this not ultra, it looks kind of a little bit like, I don't know, it's made of wood or whatever, but if you've got some of my other pieces, you know that some of the, I keep this sort of clay look about them when they're made because I want him to, I want you to still have that impressions look to him. But he's also going to illuminate, so we'll see how that works. But we're going to turn him for you. See the little button on his little cuff here? And then I added some to the back simply because, why not? We never see the back, but I wanted to add some on the back. As we turn him, and you can see the camera is struggling to make him focus. Let's see if it'll... I just lost it. I think it's what it's doing is focusing on my iPad. So let's move that and see. There. That focuses him a little bit better. If I move him back a little bit. But that's what my husband warned me, was that the iPad tends to, it focuses on the iPad and not on poor old Ezra. He doesn't get the focus because the camera is acting up. My husband and I are going to be talking more. But you see, you get a little better now. But there he is. Many of you said, bald. This is the Disneyland Skinny Ghost. Disneyland Ezra. Or Skinny Ghost. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my iPad down for a moment. And I'm going to go back down to his feet. As I want to discuss with you. There we go. And again, we'll bring this in so that you don't have all this glare and the light will be better. Okay, the feet. I'm going to turn this light on here. There we go. He's in bedroom slippers. All right. I actually wrote to Leo Holzer and asked him about these bedroom slippers. And then we both decided to talk to Jeff Curdy. And here, let me do this for you. Okay, so we both decided to talk to Jeff Curdy, and Jeff said that there were a couple of things he wanted to mention to me. One of the things he wanted to mention was that they were not named originally. That the names came for merchandising reasons. To sell better, they named them. So do you want me to name them? What are you thinking? Do you think they should be named, or do you think we should call them Skinny Ghost and Bearded Ghost and Top Hat Ghost? Let me know. And that Jeff said the bedroom slippers are the Disneyland Ghost. Now, it's interesting because I asked Jeff and Leo, why bedroom slippers? You saw this amazingly exquisite coat. So why the bedroom slippers? And all I can think of is that this is COVID-19, Luckily, he's wearing pants. But he's in his bedroom slippers. Why not have comfortable shoes, The reality is that it seems like, according to Jeff and a couple others I've asked, that there really is no, they don't know why bedroom slippers. But as an Imagineer, I can tell you that if there were bedroom slippers laying around, they said, hey, these will work. It's a ghost. Let's put him in these comfortable slippers, right? So, here we go. I just took him and set him back. But, there we go. So the fact of the matter is, the reality is that their names didn't were merchandising got their names going. So Ezra, Gus, and the professor Phineas. Do we want to say names or not, or do we want to not say names? It's really up to you guys. So I would love for you to weigh in on that question, okay? Because I don't know. And the bedroom slippers were probably Imagineers saw, hey, there's a pair of shoes over here. Let's use those. But I kind of look at it as a kind of this ghost homage to COVID because, here you have this amazing coat that you're wearing on the top and then you have bedroom slippers on the bottom. A lot like myself right now. I have my bedroom slippers on too. So, full disclosure. So I think that's kind of special for me too. But I wanted it to be the Disneyland ghost, which is why I asked hair or bald. And everybody said, no, 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 no. Bald, okay? So this is kind of the reason that I come to you and I ask you about the ghosts. But now, the good news is that ghost, Ezra / Skinny Ghost, whatever you guys decide, is going to my team. I have a mold maker and painters and people have been working for over 2 years to get these to illuminate the way I want them to illuminate. And while they are doing that study and that R&D, research and development, I will be sculpting the next ghost. How about that? So this is what I say, if you have a team of people, they can be doing the things that you're not really good at or don't want to be good at. I don't want to. I want to sculpt. And while they're doing that, I can sculpt the other ghosts. Any changes or alterations, because the skinny ghost is going to be the most difficult to illuminate. This is why we'll have this ghost is first, because we want to work with the most difficult ghost first. And once it gets all dialed in and good, the other two will follow because they're rounder, plumper, have easier time of it. Yeah. Now, I spoke last time, and I don't know if I spoke on the Facebook Live or when it was, about the the importance of 3-point base because it keeps things from breaking. And Leo suggested a hat box, but I thought, in one of the pictures that Leo sent me, there was a hat box behind the skinny ghost, and that was a little confusing with the hat box ghost. So I didn't think that was a good idea. So I decided not to do that. And I decided to keep him the way that I had been sculpting him. But it was a good idea. It's just I thought it would be a little confusing. Is it the Hatbox Ghost or is it one of the hitchhiking ghosts? Well, he's going like this. That might be obvious, but I don't know. I just thought that was going to be confusing for some people, so I didn't do that. But there he is. That's him. He's going to be picked up today at 11. I have somebody coming and getting him and taking him over to the team. He'll be molded. He'll be cast. And then the experimenting will begin. And hopefully in October, we'll have, I'm even hoping that maybe even by the end of this month, we'll have a prototype for you to look at. And that way I can lock in the cost of them. So if you want to reserve a ghost and you have the tiniest inkling that you might want one, then hit me up and get a number, okay? They are going so fast, I'm going to have a waiting list. I don't have a waiting list yet, but they are going to be flying. So, yeah, so that's the update on the ghosts. They're finally being created. If you are someone who has been waiting 2 years or more, they're finally being created. Which brings us to this chilling challenge. Oops, I digress. What's next? Once the ghosts are up and gone, what do I sculpt next? Well, immediately I'm doing Cheshire Cat. Okay, because Cheshire Cat has been very patiently waiting to get sculpted. And so he will be. But what's next after Cheshire Cat? We haven't really talked about it. And let me say to you all that if you pick the thing that is then sculpted, you get the opportunity to purchase number one. Okay, that's how number one gets sold or move forward. Number one. And now that I think about it, I'm thinking the person who suggested Ghost to me was Joshua Schaefer. And if that's the case, I got to have a chat with him too, because he usually gets number 7. So I I'll have to have a chat with him on that because I think all of a sudden it flashed in my head. I've got it somewhere, but I'm just going to make a note because I think he was the one that made the suggestion. So many suggested, but it's the first person that does it. So, but you get to have number one. You get to purchase number one. It's the only way you get to purchase if you pick something. So talk to me, okay? My husband was thinking it might be nice to do the gargoyles, but do the gargoyles during COVID. So what are they doing? What are they up to with nobody in the Haunted Mansion? So that was my husband's suggestion. But guys, you can suggest anything if you want, and then we'll put it to the group here, and you can let me know what you would like to have after Cheshire, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna need some suggestions. It's exciting. I'm so excited that the ghosts are happening. We are actually at the 1 hour mark, and I am going to not keep you much longer, but let's see what else we have here. Oh, yes, let's talk about this. This is, I have found my postcards. Of course, I tipped a cup. Remember I told you that when you tip a cup, you find it? I did. So the question was, can you show us images and share 3 to 5 messages you wrote home? Were you homesick during that trip? Not really. Isn't that surprising? I love travel. I miss my family. Don't get me wrong. But I love travel. And also, I think you guys, one of you asked, it might have been Leo, it might have been someone else, asked me about the worst hairstyle I ever had. And remember I told you I had a picture, so I'm going to show you that first. The absolute worst hairstyle ever. This is obviously a wig. And all my hair is stuffed under this wig. Okay? Because when I was a little girl, people didn't know how to work on my hair. Let's get that glare out of your face. There we go. People didn't know how to deal with my hair. So, as a result, they used what's called a lye relaxer. And the lye relaxer burned my hair and it started falling out just before I went to high school. So I ended up with chunks of my hair falling out, which was awful as a young girl. I'm going in, I'm 14, turning on 15, and I'm going into high school, and this is what's happening, right? And this teeny tiny little picture right here is the wig that my mom bought for me, and you can't really see it. Let's see if I can get a little light on it. Let's light the subject. There we go. That's a little bit better. Except for it's, of course, in the shot. There we go. That'll make it a little better. But this little picture right here is kind of a Farrah Fawcett wig I wore when I was getting into school. And I was bullied. A guy kind of made me a slave, threatening to pull that off and exposing the not so cool hair underneath. But that was the worst. So let's show you the thing I love about my hair is that this is its natural properties. It's taking my natural properties of my hair, meaning the natural aspects of the way it grows, and creating something cool. Okay, I no longer have lye relaxers, which burn my scalp and made my hair fall out. I don't straighten it anymore, and it's going great. So I'm really excited because the last lye is coming to an end, because I no longer, see, this is what's left of the color, and then we're going to snip it off. It goes away. I told my hairdresser he could snip it off, but he doesn't want to yet. So I let him kind of do it, but you can see, and it doesn't look gray. It looks more dirty dishwater blonde or something. But the point is this is all my natural hair color and my natural way my hair is. We're just using that property of the nappiness of it to create dreadlocks. And I love it. I really, really love it. Instead of walking around and trying to get my hair to conform in a way that it really doesn't. Okay? That's what people did when I was younger. I did it to try and help my mom. My mom is a white lady, as I mentioned, and trying to comb my hair. Well, first of all, this hair doesn't use a comb. So that was the first mistake. But it was devastating for her. because she just didn't know how to take care of it. So as a result, we're going to go back to this camera so that you don't go blind with my skull. But anyway, here are some pictures. Let's go. Oh, I have my sister in here too. Here are some pictures of me as a little kid with my hair being pretty much natural. So you can see around, I mean, these are old pictures, but this is me as a little brownie. And then this one is me, my mom trying real hard to maybe use iron to straighten it. But look at how boofy it is. This is an old picture. I don't think it has a date on the back of it or anything. Here I am again. My mother made me this dress. Cute, huh? Yeah. And then here I am again. My hair naturally blonde, but obviously mixed kid. That dress also my mother made. My mother made that dress. And then there's my sister. So you can see, there we are. As different as night and day. And my sister got my mother's hair, the Farrah Fawcett hair. You see? So there we are. It's about the age split, too. That's about the same right there. But so you've seen my worst hairstyle ever. And I wasn't cool. I was often, kicked to the curb. I couldn't run. I had asthma, severe asthma. And so I found theater. Theater was the best. I found theater, and that's what did it. So there's the answer to that. Now, let's get back to the question that you all have been asking. I found, or Leo is asking on your behalf. Here is the packet. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to pull out some of these cards for you that I wrote. All right? Okay, so the cool thing is, the very cool thing about these cards, forgive me as I put stuff away, the very cool thing about these cards is that I dated them, which is surprising that I dated them. Let's see. Okay, these two are from my husband. And I will read a couple from me first, and then I will let you see the difference, all right? Okay, so I left in June. Let me make sure that I left in June, and so here's a beautiful picture that I sent to my parents. Postcards. I was always grabbing postcards. And this is another one. 6/30 is the date. And here is Notre Dame, which my husband and I visited. So this is me in Paris. I think this one's earlier because it's Big Ben. So let's read what this one says as you look at Notre Dame. Dear Mom, Kathy, and Dad. So I'm writing to my family. First of all, I'm alive. This is how I always started out every card. First of all, I'm alive. My parents really didn't want me to go to, they didn't want me to, oh, wait, 1 minute. Wash out. There we go. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so I had to tell my parents I was alive. And I had to make sure that they were, not panicking because I was 19 and I just went with my two friends and off we went to tour Europe. So as a result, they simply said, please don't go, was what they were saying. So the first few days in London were rather hectic. We haven't actually been dining, but it will be better in France. So, let's see. At first, I got a little bored as the guys drugged me through every military building imaginable. So I went with two guys who were all about minifigs, meaning the miniature war figures and the big tables where they move their armies and battle live with each other. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but these guys actually did it. And they were military freaks, and I love the military, but don't need to see all that history. Wasn't my thing back then. But today I drug them to a toy museum. Surprise! and to the Tower of London, dun dun dun, which was number one on my list. I loved both places, but was especially captivated by the armor in the White Tower of the Tower of London. The youth hostels, are a real trip. I met a guy from Sweden and two guys from Maryland and two girls from New Jersey. The girls were biking all around and they told me that they almost got killed on the streets. So many cars. Thought they're not mistaken either. You have to sprint across the streets here in London or be killed. And it's as though you have a 10-pound price on your head and that if they hit you, they make money. Off to France tomorrow, all my love. Let's see. Jeans go for 50 pounds a piece. And that's about $75 in America, and I write. And then at the bottom, I always wrote, Mom, please call Kevin's mother. That's my friend Kevin. And then I put a phone number. So that's the first card that I sent. That's the very first one. As soon as I landed in London, that's the card. And there's the tower, okay? And then this is when I was in Paris. And we're going to flip the Paris, France. Isn't that beautiful? There we go. You can see the Paris one. And this one I wrote to my sister. Hope your trip was fun. I'm having a good time, but I found out one thing. It's not the toilet paper that I miss, but the water. There's not a drinking fountain within miles in any direction, and the fruit prices are outrageous. 12 francs for an orange, which is the equivalent to about $2.50. Whoa. I sure miss you. When I get back, we got to get together. So I can show you Star Wars. Some guys recognized my button, and we chatted for hours. Gotta run. Love, Terri. So that's the one to my sister, was this Notre Dame one. Okay? So there it is. One more? Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. We'll go into, okay, you saw that one. Okay, here is the Milan Cathedral, which looks like a wet candle. You'll look at that while I read this one. No, this one. Okay. Yes. Yes. Or do I want to do, I can't, there's so many. But I'll do, let's do this one. Dear group, this is to my parents again. Dear group, yes, once again, I'm getting writer's cramps, but it's worth it. Mom, if you were here in Austria, you'd go crazy. The mountains and landscapes are outrageous. You wouldn't believe how beautiful. This postcard is a poor example. Ba-bum. Poor example postcard. We're eating much better, but not like home. I'm still getting to get and drink. I'm still getting and getting as much orange juice as I can. When I get home, and in my room, oh, let's see. Orange juice I can find when I get home, or rather the room. My room is a little chateau with about 10 other girls. It's roomy and beautiful, but all the other rooms are dirty and yucky. We're in the oasis, having a great time, especially in toy stores. I'll write again soon. Mom, please call Kevin's mom and a phone number. So that's kind of what it is. So you can see that I kind of talked about stories. I actually got to walk and touch the stones of Stonehenge. And here's a castle. This is Dover, I think. Yes, this is Dover Castle. And then I thought this was a cool postcard to send my family. So basically, there you go. And you want to see more. And then the Sistine Chapel was my moment. So I'll show you that postcard right there. Sistine Chapel postcard. And my experience with Michelangelo. Yes. Yay, yay, yay. Now, in the contrast, you asked about my husband and his writings. So here he's got the guards at a castle, and let's see what it says. It's the military tattoo at Edinburgh, you know, because he's a little Scottish in him. So here's what he writes. What ho, Mop Top? That's what he used to call me. We are just passing through King's Gussie of the Highlands by train. The track is not the smoothest thing. Found a piper's something, but was too bloody expensive. I am enchanted by these Notting Hills and occasional castles that dot the landscape. I have seen the land by air and by train, and I have decided to take up residence. You are, of course, invited to spend a few days in my tower. Tomorrow I go a-looking for bagpipes, which will come with full piper's dress, I hope. Many pictures to show. Lindsay. Must run now. The stout awaits. And then it says Astrides, because he never answered it, Lindsay. So there you go. There's one of his. So, and that was, oh gosh, guys, he doesn't date his, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was a long, long time ago. So as we finish up, I want to thank you for joining me on this Ask Me Anything today. And if you need to go, this is the 1 hour, 16-minute mark, but we're going to take a couple of minutes, whatever it takes, to take a look at your comments like I like to do at the end. So if you want to stay, please do. Otherwise, share your weekend with me. You know, share your weekend with me and let me know what you're going to be doing. I'm going to do another stop motion. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, check it out. It's my teacup stop motion video, my very first one. And I'm very proud of it. And a lot of you have been so sweet in commenting. And of course, please join me and subscribe. That would be so nice if you went to my YouTube channel. There it is, right there. I would love it if you would become a part of that. I'm working on doing better and better content. I'm an old dog, so old dogs have to really work hard to learn new tricks, but I'm getting better, as you can see. So there's that, and then your voice would love to be heard on Patreon. So please go to this down here and join us if you like. We have a new member, Daniel DeMeyer. I'm just about to invite him to the page. And Bob Berdeen has said he wants to as well. So there you go. YouTubers, thank you for watching this. I am so excited to be a part of YouTube, and I'm so excited to be able to bring you these AMAs. They are long, I get that, but this is what has been requested because of COVID-19. Usually I keep them to about an hour long. I just go a little extra because of COVID-19. So I appreciate you all bearing with me. And now we'll get back to the comments so we can feature you. So there's a comment from Leo. See, he's just given us all kinds of cool emojis. This is Bob Berdeen. Leo Holzer and that. Yes, I see what happened. Sorry, Bob. I got myself confused. Bob, I was going to say something, but second-guessed myself. Okay, I get that. Carol, how are you? Let's pop you on, girl. How you doing? Look at this picture of Carol. She was my neighbor a while back, and she has met the love of her life. He's a pilot, and she is she's a flight attendant. Yeah. He's a pilot. Yeah. And she lived on a boat, but I don't know if she still lives on a boat. Kind of cool, huh? Yeah, amazing life. She just said one day, I'm going to sell everything except for what can fit in my car, and off she went. And don't you just love people when they do that? I do. She's amazing. She's an amazing lady. Okay, great to hear from you, Miss Carol. And then we were, yes, yes, indeed, it was. It's sad when anybody passes at such a young age, isn't it? We were talking about, yesterday, we were talking about parents losing their children. And that's not supposed to happen. You know, when you lose your children and you're still living on this earth as a parent, it's devastating. It is devastating. And it's not something you're actually going to get over. You're going to possibly be able to compartmentalize it a little bit, but you're never going to get over it because it's just not supposed to happen. So my heart goes out to all parents. Hello, Bobby. And look at your lovely picture with your cute little kids on there. Awesome. Yes, very true. Marshall is really, really good. And yes, Ava, I agree. And like I said, an advocate for more films for people of color, of all colors, of all colors. Yes, that's the thing I loved about him. In The Five Bloods, Chadwick Boseman is a true soul of that film, despite his minimal screen presence. And I have not seen The Five Bloods, so I'm going to have to check that out. Yes, thank you for sharing that with me, Leo. That's exciting. Yes, he was. Black Panther was a fabulous movie. I have to tell you that the Queen's outfit, her crown, that white crown, which was actually, I understand, 3D printed. I want to make it so bad. That was just a killer crown. And again, just wonderful to see women in such powerful positions as well. The movie was really special for all of us that feel that needs to be addressed. And hello again to Tamara. I became a fan of Boseman because of 42, says Leo. Have seen every feature film he's been in since the last one, and at least twice. I think 42 also features one of the best performances from Harrison Ford. And now you know why I first saw it was because of Harrison Ford. Because I love Harrison Ford in a somewhat not leading role. And the leading role was Chadwick's, right? So this movie is incredible. This movie is a lovely movie, and I agree with you, Leo. Magic Castle in Hollywood has been doing a comedy night every Wednesday for a while in their parking lot. I'm not going to correct you. With an inflatable screen. You know, I just went past the Magic Castle. I just drove past it. Why was I driving? Oh, yes. Because I got to visit Bonham's, the auction house. And I drove past it and wondered if they were doing anything. That's great news. I love the Magic Castle. If you haven't been, you ought to go. We are also doing takeout with pickup. Works a treat. Yes, Karen. It does work a treat. And I wish I could visit. I mean, I try to visit as many restaurants, but I cook an awful lot. I am somebody who likes to cook. So, Michael Roman says he was really sad about Chad Boseman. He was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2010 and was 43. And he urges us all to get tested. Now, Michael brings up a very important point because the news is saying a lot of people are putting their physicals off and things, and we don't want to do that. Okay? Doctors are really keeping it safe for you to get your tests and things done. So keep those physicals going. And thank you, Michael, for adding that. That is a really, really important point. And Deanna jumps into the cappuccino machine where she makes iced coffee. Yeah, we want to go over, don't we, guys? Leo says he had a bout, his wife had it worse. By that, if you mean, I don't think she was sick. It was just worse because she had to see her husband go through this, and that is tough. The people on the outside are the ones that suffer. I lost my brother. My brother died at 54, and he had cancer. It was bone cancer eating up his whole jaw and neck and everything. And we saw him in hospice, and he couldn't speak. And I was flying out to do an appearance the very next day, and I was terrified. I didn't want to leave him. And he couldn't speak, and he wrote a note to me that said, "Go for it. Don't quit. You know, keep going. Don't let me stop you." And I still have it in my wallet. So you just don't get over that stuff, do you? And my brother was built. My brother was seriously handsome. Woo-wee! He was 50, I think he was 50 something, 53 or something. He had a stroke and he was in the hospital, and the woman said he had 4% body fat and built like an ebony carved statue. She would come out, they would come out and go, oh, whoo, that boy is built. And he's in the hospital. He's in a hospital bed. They were cute. He was really a lovely guy, so I feel it. Sunday late shows were like pre-coronavirus, often less than 10 in the theater. Well, yes, and also drive-ins were dead, guys. There weren't drive-ins. Drive-ins were becoming abandoned. And now all of a sudden they're being resurrected. And how lovely is that? Just got a haircut. Joseph, did you get a haircut? I got mine styled. Feels good, don't it? Yes, it does. I'm hoping to fly to WDW in October, but I'm concerned about the flight right now. Yes, I would be too. You cannot social distance on an airplane flight. And people don't want to wear their masks, so they are allowed to take them off while eating. Just bear this in mind, Joseph. And they eat a cookie like in 2 hours. They eat so slow. It's the slowest cookie eating in history because they don't want to put the mask back on. So just be aware of that and do the best you can and make your decision when you get closer to October, of course. Vincent Price, House of Wax. Yes, with the ping pong ball that goes beep, 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 like that at you. I love it. I love it. I love it. Read that Disneyland is waiting for governor to give the okay to open. They are. They are waiting. And right now he's not giving it. Okay. Because we are still in we're in stage 1. He's also maybe going to close the beaches down. So if you live in California and you plan to go to the beach, please social distance and be careful. Because if there's too many of you, that beach will close over this weekend. So be aware. Okay? He will do it. Hello, Miss Janet. Good to see you. Oh, you're watching the whales. Ooh, nice. Isn't it lovely how nature is coming back? On the news, they said they were seeing more nature, and a woman from the zoo said it really isn't more nature, you're just home more. Au contraire, mon ami. No, no, no. I am not buying that, okay? I have got so many lizards here doing the happy dance because I spend most of my time either here in my studio or in my house. It's hilarious. They are like, all together. Do-ah, do-ah, glad you're inside, do-ah, glad you're inside, do-ah, do-ah. So all the animals are out, all of them are out. All of them are out. I got a murder of crows that keep driving this one guy crazy because they keep bumping into his car purposely and setting the alarm off. True story. If I can video it, I will. But hilarious, just hilarious. So there is more nature. A clogging team of raccoons I have on my roof every other night. They have to be wearing clogs because they sound like they're about 50 pounds apiece. So I disagree with this lady. I think that nature is partying down because we're all indoors. If you sculpt the child, it would be another sellout. Yes, it would. But here's the thing with the child. The child is something that is both Star Wars and both Disney. And I'm not so sure I want to do that. So, and also, you guys have got a lot of child. The main reason that I still sculpt stuff is because Disney puts out junk. And I want you to have something cool. Well, the child is the one exception. I have seen some very beautiful recreations of the child that the Disney.com has done, and they're gorgeous. And they're very reasonable. So I'm not so sure I want to do that. Maybe later, but not right now. Not right now. I'm not. That's not moving me because you guys got a lot of great spots to get the child. And Deanna says her grandma saw a UFO back in Indiana in the 70s. Did she brag about it, or did she say, no, I'm not gonna, no. I love that Close Encounters movie. LOL, I thought I saw a UFO the other night around midnight. Yeah, you might have. Again, it's a great time to visit. We're all indoors. Um, coming, oh my goodness, coming straight at you. Yeah, when it does that L, you know. Bob's doing more emoji fun. Angie writes, another live. I feel special. Hi, Angie. Of course, you are special. You don't know me to tell you that, but I will tell you that you're special. And then Leo wanted me to bring him into the discussion. Not today. Maybe next time. I like running room. Jessica, you can post them here. Leo watches this feed. But if you say, just type Leo Holzer's name in, it'll alert him that you did a question. The other way you can do it is to send them to me in Messenger. Just message me on Facebook and I'll send them up to Leo. Yes, you can. And thank you for taking on that baton. Okay, see, your questions are audio or video if you needed that at. Nope. Next week maybe. We'll talk about it later. Thank you, Angie. You're so sweet to say that. Post them on Terri Hardin's Facebook page. Pegas. Leo's having a real fun time typing. Thank you for the ghost. Yeah, he's real special because I'm torn between cherrying him out and making him super, super smooth, which would take another several hours. But that's not what the impressions are for. The impressions are my thought put in clay off to the thing, which is why they're so popular, and it's good for me because I'm a detail freak. I go, and not everything needs to be that. So these impressions are very special. And Leo has just wrote to you to tell you. See, Leo's on it. Leo's on the case. Thank you, Ava. And see, Leo, isn't he brilliant? He's just brilliant. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, thank you, Paula. It's my choice. Yeah, I mean, Jeff Curdy was like, I got the feeling he never said don't name them, but he was like, if you want to be real, they were not named. And if you guys don't know Jeff Curdy, Kurtti, he is a brilliant writer and a longtime friend. And, he's written some beautiful books for Disney, about Disney. And, I am so glad that he chimed in to help me out. Follow the current standard and name them. That's what Ralph says. Well, people like names. My Foster Farms chicken commercials, they're not named. And I've always thought they should be. Just because they weren't in the beginning, Have a great day, Ava. She's probably gone, but I'll say it anyway in case she comes back. Jason Sorrell's book named them. And Jeff Boham believes that they will eventually be recognized by others in the company as Ezra, Phineas, and Gus. Woohoo! I don't mind it. I like calling him Ezra. I think he likes it too. Ooh, a bust of Uncle Remus. That will create controversy, won't it, Leo? That will create real controversy. Hi, Nate, Mr. Busy. Did you tell me you collect pins, Nate? I couldn't remember. I think you were going to give me talk to me about them or something. Anyway, if you collect pins, we need to talk later because I had a question for you. Finally. Yes, you are. You have your own giveaway on your page, and that's exciting. Yes, I know, Angie, it is. It is time to go. Yes, 100%. Bob, is that for naming? I'm going to say yes. Nightmare Before Christmas characters. Anyone in particular, Deanna, that you would like to have? Anyone you're missing? How about the little mummy that does the cat? That could be cool. That could be seriously cool. I love that little mummy. See, there I go with those sideline characters again, right? So, what do you think about that one? Lots of hearts. I don't think she heard me. Have I sculpted Walt yet? No, but I've drawn him. I've sketched him. And I should mention that. Many of you have been asking about my winning cachet with the Walt and Ward and the trains on it. And let me just pop them out so you can see them. Today I'm going to put them in my store, and then I'll post it so you guys can all learn about how to order these beautiful cachets. Okay, so stamps are authentic, actually canceled by the U.S. Postal Service, and they are $40 a set plus tax, tips, diesel license. But there they are, and they are Waltz and Ward Kimball. Now, many people asked me to do a different person other than Ward, but I knew Ward very well, and so I wanted Ward Kimball in my envelope, and it's my envelope. So Ward gets to be in there. Also loved Ward because he had no catalytic converter on his mouth either, and it was great to sit and have conversations with him when I was an Imagineer, and I adored him. So there's the answer to that. Yeah, oh, that's interesting. That's very clever. Yes, yes, yes. The thing about Walt being sculpted is it might need to be a wax, and they're more expensive. I need to go to wax so I can get the detail really well, and they're more expensive. So let's think about that. Bluebird on his shoulder. That is adorable. I suggested a bust of Walt next fall in honor of the 120th anniversary of his December 5th birth. That's a good idea, Leo. That could be a very good idea. How many think that's a good idea out there? Can't wait to see it. Have a great weekend. Yes, indeed. That's cool. Enjoyable Labor Day. Be safe on Labor Day. Oh, hey, Stromboli. Oh, hey. I know. I'm working on it. Stromboli, I'm working on being more out there. But a little bit at a time, I guess. And then some people said I needed to be on TikTok, and I don't even know TikTok. For the longest time, I thought they were talking to me about a clock. Oh, Deanna, I know, right? Never get over it. Bella! Mom must be on a break. How about, he had about, was in reference to Dwayne Johnson and his wife. Yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, Dwayne Johnson did. And he said it was one of the hardest things he's ever done was that COVID. There's Michael. Hello, Michael. By the way, today is my love's birthday. I woke her up with a song. That must be Rose Burdine, right? And by the way, congratulations on your daughter's upcoming wedding. I hope she gets to have it. If not, I'll watch it virtually. You have a Zoom wedding. All of you guys be there and fire it up, and I'll be there in spirit. So I'm very excited. Happy birthday, Rose Burdine. Happy birthday, Rose Burdine. Yes, Bob thinks you're really keen. Happy birthday, Rose Burdine. Okay, now she has 2 songs, Bob. Yay! And a happy birthday from Nate. Hello! Any new projects you'll be working on? I'll also like to hear your thoughts on if I should be a ride mechanic just so I can help those with hurt backs in line. Yes, I think that's a great idea. Yeah. And here's another one. I would love for you to join Terry's tribe and we can discuss that more. So yeah, wow, that's great. Nate says, yes, shoot me a message. I collect pins. You do, Deanna. Okay. You love all Nightmare Before Christmas. See, I'm getting good with those. And those, what are they called? I don't know, but when they're letters, I'm getting better at those. Yes, much better at those. So excited. Just finished a giveaway. We'll be posting new giveaway next few days. Next giveaway features me. What? And the Oswald pin. Thank you for participating and donating. You know, ask, and there's a very good chance if you've got something for a cause, I will be a part of it because I'm a sucker for a good cause. Oh my goodness. No, I have not. Tell me more, Miki. Tell me more. And that's the last comment. Message me, Miki, and tell me more. I am intrigued. I am intrigued. How many would like that? You know? I haven't done anything for Moana either. And a lot of people were asking about Lilo of Lilo and Stitch. But is Lilo powerful enough? And I hesitate to ask this question before I go. Is she powerful enough to stand on her own without Stitch in the picture? She'd be a great match standing next to Stitch. I'd make her proportions to the Stitch that I sold a couple years ago so that they could be together. But what about Lilo? I love Lilo because Lilo's like me. Lilo as a little girl is like me, you know. She's dancing and the kids start teasing her and making fun of her and she just pounds them. Poof. And that's me. That was me as a kid. Nowadays, I guess kids don't do that. But me, I just, you know, poof, stopped, you know, hit the off button. Poof. And that's what she does. And then she feels bad because she doesn't mean to. I meant to. Full disclosure, I tell you, I'm going to be honest. When I was a little kid, I was a scrapper. And, you know, if you were dumb enough to hit me, because my mom said they have to hit you first before you hit back, you were in a world of hurt. As my dad says, I was all over you like ugly on an ape. So, that was me. Rose will love it. Yeah, just fast forward to the song, you know. She doesn't have to watch the whole thing unless she wants to. Lilo with Scump. Oh, that's interesting. Scrump. Sorry. Forgive me. I read it wrong. With Scrump. Interesting. Okay. That is an interesting idea. Tell me more, Deanna. And there you go. There we have it. Here we go. Wait. There we go. Oh, Nate says, do Lilo and Scrump. He thinks it would sell. Yes. Nate, again, we're gonna have to have a chat, eh? Okay, guys. It is now what does it say? It has now been almost hour 45 minutes because I wanted to get through your comments on air. I just think it's really nice to have your comments show and just show up because it's fantastic. And there's a comment here I'm not going to post because it's aggressive and I don't believe in aggressive. So sorry. You trying to get my goat? I won't give it to you. My goat is my goat. And there you go. Oh, I see what you're saying. Works like wax. I love it. I'll message you about more. I think that would be great. I would love to know more about it. I'm always loving more new materials. TTFN and Night, love you. You sat through the whole thing. Your mom let you do it. And you all take care too. And thank you for joining us. If you're joining during YouTube, thank you. Even the person who posted the mean comment about Lady Gaga, thank you for watching. I'm just not about, you know, if they want to go back and read your comment, they can do that. But personally, I ain't posting it up here. Because we got enough anger, don't we? Don't we? We do. Right? We do. Yes. We really, really do. So as Bob says, peace is the way. Peace is the way. I love you guys all. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Be smart. Wear a mask. Because, as Lady Gaga says, it's a sign of respect. So, and I respect and love you all. I want you all safe. Even when you say mean things about Lady Gaga. And you know who you are, Mr. Silver. I'm not dissing on you. You have your right to your opinion, don't you? Yes, you do. And here we go. 2 more. There we go. Bye for now, guys. Have a good week and be safe. It's Labor Day. Try to honor Labor Day by not laboring. I love you so much. I will talk to you soon. Hugs and kisses. Take care. Bye for now.